Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise and still continuing our talk with the Member of Parliament of Tanzania, Ms. Gertrude Mongella. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
We're very happy that you are with us, Mrs. Mongella, and we would like to know from you what are the expectations or what still needs to be done in order to empower Egyptian and African women in the coming years.
I think the most important thing is to build the trust of society in women. And that can be done by educating women, giving value to the work women do, and at the same time, making sure that we realize the laws of our nations, the constitution of our nations, which do not discriminate women. If you read in the holy books, be it a Quran or Bible, women are not discriminated. But when it comes to action, human beings discriminate women. And this education which I'm talking about, it should be an education for both men and women, because the women and the men must work together to change the world where some human beings are deemed to be second-class citizens, including women. There are also some men who are being discriminated. So what we are talking about as women is to get to a point where the difference between men and women is no longer there, and our laws and the constitutions respect and implement the equality of human beings. That's what we are talking about. At the same time, I think it's very, very important to make sure that women have open economic opportunities. A poor person will never make any important impact because you cannot meet your own demands. How can you afford or have time to look into the national or societal issues? So the problem of poverty within Africa and other nations is an important issue to deal with. We have to eliminate poverty. And at the same time, I would like to say that putting, for example, Egypt this year, putting the year 2017 as the year to empower women is very critical because it gives time to examine all the gaps which exist in society in order to empower the women.
Yes. So speaking about the African woman, and since it is also the gathering also has the aspect of business. So what are the African challenges in terms, facing the African businesswoman?
The challenges mainly are information. How much information exists between our nations, our African nations, so that we can trade together, we can work together using the limited number of professionals we have in all fields. And at the same time, the other challenge is communication. It is still a big challenge. In rural areas, people cannot communicate very easily with other parts of the world to look for the markets and also to share the scientific and technical knowledge they have. The other thing is that the other challenge is transportation. Many people would like to, let's say, trade from my country to trade with Egypt. The transportation is still limited between the African countries, and therefore the women have no access to proper transportation of their own products. So the challenges are many. The most crucial one is peace. In many countries there is no peace.
Yes.
And without peace, we cannot claim to succeed in all our goals. Countries without peace, women will continue to suffer, children will suffer, the elders will suffer, and the men will suffer. So we need a word of peace. And if you look into the history, let's say, of Egypt, I'm a history teacher, you find that the most prosperous time is when there was total peace in Egypt, that people could think, people could invent, people could innovate. You have to have a peaceful mind in order to do that. So peace is very important. And you look into so many African countries, the political instabilities are working against peace, and they are working against the participation of women in development of their countries.
Dr. Gertrude Mongella, member of the Tanzanian Parliament, thank you very much for being with us in this edition of Nile Cruise. We definitely enjoy talking to you, and we're looking forward to more cooperation between Egypt and Tanzania and the rest of African countries when it comes to the empowerment of women.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. And let's move now to a short break and returning back with more.